We'll go ahead and call us to order. We appreciate everyone being here tonight. It is December the 9th at 7 o'clock sharp. If you'll bow with me, I'll lead us in our invocation as we get started tonight. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this great day that you've provided for us. Lord, just thank you for those that were able to be here with us tonight. Lord, just thank you for the freedom that we have to assemble and come together and discuss the items of our community. Lord, just thank you for this wonderful, great community that we all live in. Lord, just be with those that are sick in our community and those that are struggling with other items in their life tonight. And Lord, just be with us and give us a safe journey home. And we ask that everything that's said and honored and done here tonight will glorify you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You'll stand, we'll pledge to the American flag and then to the Georgia flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our Georgia state flag. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, and moderation. Thank you. You may be seated. This time we'll ask the clerk if she'll call the roll for a quorum, please.
Commissioner Blakemore.
Present.
Commissioner Askew.
Here.
Chairman Whitfield.
Here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Commissioner Schultz.
Present.
All right, all members are present tonight. We do have the agenda here before you, so do we have a motion from the board to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hart. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Blakemore. Any further discussion of our agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as presented. There were some public hearings on some zoning issues that were scheduled, but that information's not been passed to this body yet, so those public hearings are canceled on this agenda. We do have the approval of our minutes from our last meeting back on November the 18th in the packet. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda from...
Motion to approve the minutes.
Or the minutes, excuse me, yes. So we have a motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner Askew. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion of the prior minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, those minutes are approved. Okay, under new business, we have a variance appeal on property located at 41 Lee School Road, Lafayette, Georgia, tax map and parcel number 0-428-018. Is there anyone here to speak on this matter tonight? Is the person wanting to appeal this? Is that you? Would you like to come up and speak?
I haven't done this, well, I did it before, but I appealed it. I did not know, I'd never moved a trailer before, and I'm 60. I did not know, and I was in error. I did not get a permit. I apologize. I have nothing on my record. I've always tried to do the law. I'm embarrassed of it, but I don't have the money to move it. It was gave to me, and my sons helped me move it. My friend, who was my father's friend for 30 years, Chuck, I have a letter in here. I owe him $4,150, which I am on low income. I'm on disability. And so I don't have the money to, it'll take me about 3 years to pay him off because I don't have any savings. I don't have a husband. I have a disability check. It's $1,070 a month. It'll take me about 3 years to pay him back because he helped me move it. He was my dad's friend, and I am in error for having done this, but I don't have the money to move it, and I was hoping that I could fix it and keep it, but that's, I have a letter showing that I don't have a savings from my bank. I got it today. I do have, in here somewhere, I have the letter showing that I owe my friend Chuck. He's in the hospital right now, but I owe him the $4,150. And like I say, it'll take me probably 3 years to pay him back because I don't get but $1,070 a month. But I don't have a savings, or maybe I could have done something.
Couple of questions, please, ma'am. Is it on your piece of property? You own the property that it's on?
Yes, that's another reason I thought, well, if there's anything I need to do, I'll do it. But it was a matter of it's 2 feet too short. It's 70 feet long, but it's not 16 feet wide, it's 14. And I was hoping to keep it. I'm in a camper, can't take hot baths and stuff. I have a shower. I have osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. I gave them a letter at the other hearing that's from my doctor about the things I do have.
Right.
That's medical problems, but I didn't know if they'd give it to you or if I needed to bring it, and I didn't.
We did get that.
So, and I don't see the letter, but I did put it in here, I thought. But I can give you his number, and he'll probably answer the phone. He's in the hospital right now. But Chuck Baldwin has been my friend for 25 years, and I've always paid him back, or, always paid him back, and so, but there is I should have made sure that was in there. I thought I put it in the envelope, but that's from my bank I got today.
What was the planning commission's, what was their vote on that? What was their recommendation?
They denied, well, first there was a motion made to table it to a doctor note to be provided.
Right.
And has that been provided?
I gave it to the other people.
Yeah, I thought I saw
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
And so that, after that, then what happened?
They denied it because it was not a doctor's note at that meeting, but I think it's not a doctor's note.
Okay. Having spoken with our planning director about the situation briefly, and there were some concerns about the safety of the mobile home, the shape of it, as far as what kind of conditions it's in. I think that to try to help you, we want to try to help you, but I think that we maybe could look at, I would like to look at maybe making a motion to allow this to stay under, I guess, a conditional use contingent on the county inspectors coming out and going over it and making sure that it's safe to live in. And if it's not, then I'm sorry, but if it's not safe and it's in a condition that's not gonna do you any good, then the variance we couldn't do that.
I had not, my son has helped me with everything.
Yes, ma'am.
He's 33. And I didn't keep working on it because I thought, well, they're not gonna let me keep it, maybe. But I was hoping and praying they would. But, so, if we have a little bit of time to let you look at it and I get it
That's what I
fixed
think
somewhat.
might be the best thing is to table it, and Commissioner Stokes, you said that you could go by yourself
I can,
and
yes, sir.
look at the situation, and then we can have the building inspection department as well come out and look at it, and then we can get a report back on that. I hate to have to drag you out on it, but I think that would be on the life safety side. I think that would be the way we would want to handle it for you and for us too. Does that sound like something we could work with?
Yeah, so you're not living in it now?
No, I
Okay.
have a camper, but it's not got
That's
the
fine.
bathtub, it's got the shower,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's got several things. I mean, we have to buy gas for it, and it's expensive,
Okay.
and,
Well, there's some criteria, that's in place, and so if we'll we can move forward with having them to come they can make access to the property, or you have, okay. So, I'm gonna make a motion that we table it until we can get a little more investigation on it and see if we can help you with it, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Okay, so we do have a motion by Commissioner Askew to table this until further investigation, the board and the
Planning,
planning
yep,
office. So we have a second for that motion?
I'll second that.
We have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion of the board? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're gonna table this to our next meeting, which would be on December the 30th at same location, same time, 7 o'clock. But in the meantime, Commissioner Stoltz will be in contact with you.
Okay, will there be like a certain things that I need to have a
If you'll
list
step on up,
of?
I want to get your contact phone number.
Okay.
And then I'll call you next week and I'll come down and take a look at it.
Okay.
So,
And I'll bring that note from my friend to, I thought I had it in this envelope. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll call you Tuesday and we'll work out and come down, okay? I know where you're at. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is a resolution R-055-21 to assure compliance with the Constitution of the State of Georgia concerning general obligation sales tax bonds, ESPLOST, to be issued by the Walker County School District. So I believe Mr. Ron Womack's here tonight representing the school system. So would you like to come up and give us an overview of what you're trying to accomplish?
I'll be more than glad to. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, it's good. Thank you so much for the time tonight. And I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I want to answer any questions you have and explain any issues you may have with this. In March of this year, we had a special election for Walker County, and this will be our 5th ESPLOST, or Educational Special Local Option Sales Tax. We've had 4 in the previous year, so there's been 20-year history of this tax. This will be the 25th when the completion of the tax is done. And what the Constitution and the state statutes require is that the Board of Education, just like with its M&O, all it can do is recommend to the Board of Commissioners what the millage rate's going to be. That's not your responsibility. It's nothing you come up with. But they cannot levy the tax, but they can recommend. So when you have a bond issuance and in the election, which passed by about 77% by the voters, in that was a provision to issue bonds in the amount of $16.5 million. That's been done now through the Board of Education, and part of this requirement of law is that if the board ever asks you to do a levy, just like it does every year with its M&O, that you would levy a tax on the millage rate that was set by the board. Now, the way this happens, because I know everybody's very sensitive about taxes, and I figured y'all would take a gulp when you saw Board of Commissioners and taxes on the same resolution. I want everybody to understand this has nothing to do with you. You did not set the tax. You do not want the tax. The Board of Education doesn't want the tax. But here's the way this works. The current 5-year SPLOST is predicted to conservatively, based upon historical data, to generate about $30,100,000, let's say. The Board of Education is only issuing $16.5 million. So it's a conservative amount, but here's the way it works. The underwriters for the Board of Education has determined that the sales tax proceeds will sufficiently cover the debt service for those bonds. It's only a 5-year bond, expires. First collection is July of 2022. 2022. So this is the way it works. They believe that the tax revenue will pay for it. If it doesn't, then the board has to make up the deficiency through its general revenue. If the board doesn't have enough general revenue, they have entered into agreement with the state of Georgia, which is called the Intercept System. So the Board of Education gets appropriations from the state of Georgia every year. So what would happen is if the sales tax proceeds did not meet the debt obligation, then the Board of Education would supplement that through its general operating fund. If that still didn't cover the debt service, then the state of Georgia would pay directly to the escrow account. Any monies that was due the board would be paid there. It would only be if all those things failed that the board would come to you and say, we need a levy of millage rate. In 20 years, that's never happened. In 20 years, they've never had to use the Intercept program. In 20 years, they've never had to use their general funds. So what this resolution that we're asking you to pass under the statute and the Constitution simply says that if the board gets to the point where it cannot afford to pay the debt service, it would tell you what millage rate they would need for you to levy. Not you, this would be all school tax. And so, like I say, the historical data is that they've never even got past the first fail-safe, let alone the fourth fail-safe. So that's basically what it is, and it's not a county tax, has nothing to do with the county, just like the county has nothing to do with the budget or the millage rate for the school system in its general M&O when you all send out your tax statements.
Very good summary. Any questions from the board?
No, sir.
Well, I do appreciate the time. It's good to see you. Some of you I haven't met. It's nice to see you. And some of you I do know. And I know you, and it's still nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. Good overview. Did our county attorney, do you have anything additional to add? Or on
No, I
this?
think it's very succinct, and I agree with his explanation.
Okay, very good. At this time, do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Blakemore. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion of the board? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the resolution's approved. Okay, we have Resolution R 5621. This is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to appoint a member of the Walker County Planning Commission, whereas the Board of Commissioners of Walker County Board is the governing authority of Walker County, Georgia, and whereas one of the duties delegated to the chairman of the board is to appoint members to all the committees of the board with the approval of the board, whereas a vacancy exists on the Planning Commission due to the resignation of Mr. Gass, and whereas Chairman Whitfield submitted the following appointment to serve as members of the Walker County Planning Commission: William Zachary Chapman for a term ending on December 31st, 2025. Whereas William Zachary Chapman is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Planning Commission and has expressed a willingness to serve the people of Walker County in such capacity, therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that the appointment of William Zachary Chapman is approved, so resolved and adopted the 9th day of 2021. We've had several vacancies come up on our Planning Commission, and so what I did is I reached out to each of the board members and asked them to make a recommendation back to me of who they would like to see so we could get a person from each district involved in our Planning Commission. So this is the recommendation that Commissioner Hart made to me and felt like he would be a good member on this board, and I agree. So it's my capacity as chair that I would make this my motion to present to this board that we approve this resolution to put Mr. Chapman on the Planning Commission. So do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Hart. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, this is approved. Okay, the next one we have here, this is also for the Planning Commission. I won't read all the language is the same, except we get to the part. This one here is, I'll kind of start here in the middle. This says a vacancy exists on the Planning Commission due to the resignation of Karen Bubridge. Whereas Commissioner Shannon Whitfield submitted the following appointment to serve as the member of the Walker County Planning Commission for the remaining of her term. Robert Allen Carter for the term ending on December 31st, 2023. Whereas Mr. Robert Allen Carter is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Planning Commission, has expressed his willingness to serve the people of Walker County in such capacity. Again, this was Commissioner Blakemore's name that he submitted and wanted to submit that, and I agreed. I think that would be a good appointment. So make a motion that we approve this resolution and allow Mr. Carter to serve on the Planning Commission. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Blakemore. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this is approved. Next one is Resolution R 5821. This one's also for the Planning Commission. This is for the appointment of John Morehouse for the term beginning January 1, 2022 and ending on December 31st, 2025. Whereas John Morehouse is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Planning Commission and has expressed a willingness to serve the people of Walker County in such capacity. Therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Walker County, Georgia, the appointment of John Morehouse would be approved. And this is one that Commissioner Stoltz submitted and I thought was an excellent appointment. And this would be for a full term because this is a new term coming up. So this would be a full term to expire on December 31st, 2025. So make the motion that we appoint him on this resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, Mr. Morehouse has been appointed. Okay, this one is also for the Planning Commission. Chairman Whitfield submits the following appointment to serve as a member of the Planning Commission. John Hintz for a term beginning January 1, 2022 and ending also on December 31st, 2025. Whereas John Hintz is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Planning Commission and has expressed a willingness to serve the people of Walker County in such capacity. This was the recommendation that Commissioner Askew made, so thank you for that. And I agree, I think John would be great. So I do make the motion that we approve this resolution and ask Mr. Hintz to serve on the Planning Commission. Do we have a second?
I'd like to second that motion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Askew. We have a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
This is also approved. Okay, this is a different one, so I will read this one. Resolution R 60-21, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to appoint a member of the Walker County Animal Control Board. Whereas OCGA 4-8-23A2 provides that the Animal Control Board is an authority charged with exercising those powers set forth in OCGA 4-8-23 is determined by the county governing authority. And whereas Section 6109A of the Code of the Walker County delegates the authority to appoint members to the Animal Control Board to the chairman of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County. The board will approve with approval of the board, whereas a vacancy exists to the death of Finley Johnson, and whereas Commissioner Whitfield submits the following appointment to serve as the member of the Walker County Animal Control Board for the remaining term of Johnson's term, Mike Nolan for a term ending on December 31st, 2023. Whereas Mike Nolan is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Animal Control Board and has expressed a willingness to serve the people of Walker County in such capacity. Therefore be resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that the appointment of Mike Nolan is approved, so resolved and adopted the 9th day of 2021. Same thing here, we've got a few openings, and so I asked each one of the district commissioners to submit a name for consideration, and this is the one that Commissioner Stoltz had submitted, and I agreed I think Mike would do a great job. So I do make the motion that we approve this resolution and appoint Mike Nolan to this term where Mr. Johnson passed away. So do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second by Commissioner Stoltz? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. He is approved. This one also is for the Animal Control Board, so I won't read all of this, but where a vacancy exists due to the expiring term held by Chelsea Deal, whereas Chairman Whitfield submitted the following appointment to serve as the member of the Walker County Control Board: John Conley for a term ending on December 31st, 2024, whereas John Conley is duly qualified to serve as a member of the Animal Control Board and expressed a willingness to serve the people of Walker County in this capacity. This was a recommendation by Commissioner Askew, so I do agree with this, and I'd like to make the motion that we appoint Mr. Conley to the Animal Control Board. So we have a second for this approval.
I'll second that motion.
We have a second from Commissioner Askew. Any further discussion of the board? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this has been approved. Okay, at this time I've got a proclamation that I'd like to be able to read this. Proclamation by the Walker County Board of Commissioners, appreciation for Carthell Rogers. Whereas Carthell Rogers was a lifelong resident of Rossville, graduate of Rossville High School, and had a passion for the community service. And whereas Rogers served as the director of the Rossville Recreation Center for many years as the director of the Scenic City Football League, and whereas Rogers was instrumental in leveling the playing field for area youth by organizing baseball, softball, basketball, and football programs for children living in the area, living in and around the Rossville community as a volunteer with the Rossville Recreational Association. Whereas Rogers worked tirelessly to eliminate financial barriers that might have otherwise prevented area children from participating in recreational activities. Whereas Rogers brought notoriety to Rossville and to Walker County by successfully hosting Dizzy Dean Baseball World Series Championships in 2004, 2005, 2006, which attracted families from Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas. Whereas Rogers was generous soul and a force of good, hosting events for Rossville alumni, holiday toy drive, community meals, meet your teacher events, and among other functions. It is with a great privilege, therefore, I, Shannon K. Whitfield, on behalf of the Walker County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim our infinite appreciation and gratitude for the contribution made by Carthell Rogers to the betterment of our community. His service has left a distinct mark on the citizens of Walker County that others will surely aspire to emulate. Signed and sealed the 9th day of December 2021, Chairman Shannon K. Whitfield. There are several members from the Carthell Rogers family. If I'd like y'all to come forward. This is Carthell's mother. We just wanted to express our gratitude and our thanks for all that Carthell's done. We know it's going to be greatly missed, and just so sad for this loss unexpectedly. And thank y'all for coming here so we could honor Carthell and also honor y'all. And I know Mama still works and does concessions and has been a part also of the recreation program. So he will be deeply missed. He's made a tremendous impact in our community, and we're just so thankful for what he's done. And thank y'all for being here tonight. So let's give the Rogers Carthell a great big hand. Okay, the next item we have is accept a federal victims grant, Crime Act Assistance Grant, or VOCA grant. This is an annual grant that we get through the federal government for the district attorney's office. The federal funds coming in to Walker County would be $183,831. The matching funds is waived for all offices of $45,958. So this would be going to our district attorney's office through the Lookout Mountain Judicial Court System. So since this is a federal grant through one of our entities in our budget, we will ask the board to approve this grant so we can keep this program going. So we have any questions of the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve this grant?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a motion by Commissioner Hart? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Blakemore. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries to approve. Okay, the next two items on our agenda is a contract of the Associated County Commissioners for the Defined Benefit Program. And we've had some of our members, about 50 members that participate in this plan. Many of you are here tonight. We appreciate you coming out. And we have been requested to have someone from ACCG come up and speak next week. And so they have agreed to send their department head up here to come speak with us. He was very excited to do so. So we've sent out notices to all the members that participate in this defined benefit program to join us, and they're welcome to bring their spouses next Wednesday night at 6:30 at the Walker County Civic Center, and we'll have a time of Q&A and let everyone be able to meet Kel from ACCG. What we're trying to accomplish here, this is really step one of a couple at least, where we're just trying to take the existing retirement program that's been in place for many years. It's the actual plan document that y'all that are in part of this program received back a few weeks ago. Just literally take and lift that and move it over to ACCG for them to be the administrative of record so they can dig into that program and be able to give us some guidance going forward. So this is somewhat like moving your bank account, so to speak. You know, it's still, the rules are still in place, the retirement ages, everything is still the same. The only way that that would change is if this board in the future makes a change that would be placed on the agenda. So this is just an administrative move. We're currently working with Lincoln Financial. The folks we deal with are based out of California. Working with ACCG would get us working with folks here out of Atlanta, and they do send a representative up once a month to meet with anyone about their retirement. So it'd be my recommendation to the board that we just table this at this time, have the meeting with the members of this program next Wednesday at 6:30, and then put it on the agenda at the next meeting. So I'd like to see if we have a motion to table this into the next meeting.
Motion to table.
Let's have a motion by Commissioner Stoltz to table this. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Have a second by Commissioner Askew. Any further discussion of the board about tabling these two action items? Actually, there's two action items.
Right.
So the motion would cover both of these action items to table these, and your second would cover both of these.
Action items.
Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of tabling these two action items to the December 30th meeting?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, these items will be tabled into the next meeting. Okay, the next item we have is our monthly department statistics that we track some information. So we have our animal shelter showing 97 dogs intake, 20 cats. Code enforcement did 754 inspections, 14 violations, but they wrote citations, closed out 5 cases. Voters registered in the county, 178 people registered to vote. Fire department called for services, 287, installed 27 smoke alarms. So we're always happy to get more smoke alarms installed. Our roadside trash was 7,360 pounds, picked up off the roadsides. Mountain Cove Farms had 131 nights stayed in our cabins, 17 new single-family home permits pulled for the county. So that was a good number in the winter months of 17 permits. Media impressions, 13, 49 new members followed us on Facebook, 40,830 visitors to the website, 45 new subscribers to the e-newsletter, and we had 1,851 trips on our transit, so very active month that we had there. At this time is for our public comments. If there's anyone that would like to come up and speak, we do ask everyone to stay within the 5-minute timeline, and we ask that if you would keep your questions or topics or comments to stuff that we deal with in county government. We can't fix the national or state issues, unfortunately, but we'd love for anyone that wants to come up and speak to come up to the podium and just state your name for the record, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Anyone that'd like to speak tonight? Okay. Hearing none, at this time would be time for our commissioner comments, so we'll start with Commissioner Blakemore. If you got anything you'd like to add.
I just appreciate everybody coming out, and if I can ever help you in any way, feel free to reach out, call, text, or email. Thank you.
Same thing, appreciate the participation. It helps us to do a better job by hearing what you need, when you need it, and how you need it. I will say that I'm well pleased that we've got this meeting set up for the defined benefit program. I'd like to hear from our trustees and any other members after the meeting, get feedback to the board members and help us better move that forward as well. So, other than that, thank you for your attendance.
Mr. Hart?
I would like to give a shout out tonight to Whitney Sunday, who is leaving. She's been our part-time board clerk for the first year of our service, and I'd probably leave too if I was her. She's done a great job for us, and she came on board, and I just like to give her some credit for helping us out. So thank you, Whitney. Another thing I want to point out is the next 2 weekends, the 11th, 12th, and 18th and 19th at the Marsh House right up the street here. There's a Candlelight Tour, so if you've never been to that in Walker County, it's a great thing to go visit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and just like Commissioner Askew said, looking forward to the meeting next week, get some questions answered and ask some questions. So look forward to a big turnout there. Also want to kind of give a pat on the back to the Cedar Grove Community Center. They had a gun raffle, and basically the raffle was to raffle off a rifle, but to also donate money to the Stocking Full of Love. And that raffle generated $1,000 for the Stocking Full of Love. So very proud of those folks down there. And just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. We won't have a meeting until after Christmas, so hope everyone has a happy and safe Christmas. Thank you.
Very good. A couple announcements I've got. I've probably read in the paper, but Robert Wardlaw is going to be retiring at the end of the year, and we've enjoyed having him on the team. He's made an extreme positive impact, and it's been a big help to all of us through the transition of the board. He's done an outstanding job, so he's just going to be down the road, so we'll be able to call on him if we need him for things. And but I wanted to introduce Stephanie Watkins. If you just raise your hand. Stephanie is our new economic development person that's come on board. We're bringing her back home. She's a graduate of Lafayette High School and worked for the Chamber of Commerce for a period of time, and then the Joint Development Authority for a period of time, and then they stole her away from us up in Chattanooga for about 12 years or so, and she's worked with 22 counties within 3 states with the Southeastern Economic Development District. And so when this opportunity come open, she applied, and I thought, boy, if she's applied, we better grab her while she's willing to come back home. So her husband and family still live in Rock Springs, and so we're just tickled to have Stephanie on board, and we've got a good time to transition for Robert to pour all of his knowledge into her and bring her up to speed on all the active projects that we've got, because there's a lot in the hopper going on. And so we just got a good team, and definitely going to miss Robert, but we very much welcome Stephanie on board and look forward for great days ahead. So thank you for joining the team. All right, at this time, the next action item that we would have is if we have items for an executive session.
Yes, I think I'd like to call for an executive session for discussion of personnel.
Okay, so we have a motion for an executive
Motion
session.
for executive session,
All right.
discussion of personnel.
From Commissioner Askew, do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion of these? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned until our executive session.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everyone. Santa here. You know, Mr. Claus, along with my friend Sparky. Sparky and I wanted to remind you of some very important fire safety tips. It's very dangerous for Santa to make deliveries in homes without working smoke alarms. To make your home safe, you need to have alarms on every level, inside or near sleeping areas, and they need to be tested monthly to make sure they work. Keep those live Christmas trees watered so they don't become a fire hazard. And remember to turn the lights off on the decorations when you go to bed or when you're not going to be home. Please be careful with candles used in holiday decorations and never leave them unattended. We also want to remind you that if you need smoke alarms for your home, Walker County Fire Rescue will provide and install them free of charge. It's their gift to you year-round. Call them at 706-539-1255. And we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a safe holiday season. Ho, ho, ho!
A changing of the guard in economic development, taking the bumps out of your daily commute, and green energy starts powering part of Rock City. That's all ahead in this edition of Walker 180. Walker County has a new economic development director. Stephanie Watkins takes over for Robert Wardlaw, who is retiring at the end of the year. Watkins is an economic development professional with over 18 years of experience in the industry. Most recently, she coordinated regional economic development projects across 22 counties for the Southeast Industrial Development Association. In her new role, Watkins will lead Walker County's efforts to improve employment opportunities in the county by recruiting new business, servicing existing industry, and redeveloping brownfield sites. The contractor handling Walker County's 2021 road paving project has resumed work. The county set a goal of resurfacing nearly 52 miles of roads this year. Currently, work is underway on Marbletop Road, Garrett's Chapel Road, Meadow Drive, and Glass Mill Road. Now, roads that are milled and patched do take a little more time than those that are just leveled and resurfaced. And due to some drainage culverts that needed to be replaced before work could commence, West Cove Road will only be patched this year, but it will be completed in 2022. An announcement about other roads that will be resurfaced next year will be made soon. A new guest enhancement at one of Walker County's oldest businesses puts sustainable energy front and center. Rock City's new Solar Arbor now powers the ticket booth while providing shade and an educational opportunity for visitors.
Guests come from all over the country, all over the world to see Rock City, and they get here on the Ticket Plaza, and we really needed to welcome them in a special way. And so, yeah, this becomes really a much more visible out front way to really kind of share the importance of sustainability and renewable energy.
The Solar Arbor produces enough electricity to power 40 refrigerators or 3,200 cell phones for an entire year. The Clean Energy Edition also sets an example for other local businesses interested in incorporating green practices. Walker County recently installed pay-low payment processing devices at the animal shelter, Mountain Cove Farms Resort, landfill, and planning office. The device means customers can now pay using MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and American Express, and make transactions using Apple Pay and Google Pay.
Okay, it is still December 9th, 2021. It is 8:30. We just finished our executive session. There's no further action tonight from our executive session. So do we have a motion to finalize our meeting tonight and close out?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, okay, we'll say Commissioner Askew made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion about adjourning? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adjourned, we're done.
Good job, guys.
Thank y'all.
What, are y'all